Let's not waste any time here. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to slap you with the truth before it's too late. You see, after building businesses, surviving 3 major economic meltdowns, hiring and firing hundreds of people, and watching fortunes rise and fall over the last 30 years, there's one brutal lesson I've learned. Most people stay broke not because they're unlucky, not because they're dumb, but because they simply refuse to face reality. And reality, my friend, doesn't give a damn about your feelings. Let's start with some hard numbers. According to the Federal Reserve's 2023 report, 60% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. Think about that. In the richest country in the history of civilization, most people are one broken car, one hospital visit, one missed paycheck away from financial chaos. It's not just sad, it's terrifying. And yet, every day, people continue to live like everything's fine. Scrolling TikTok for 5 hours a day. Spending $7 on a coffee that takes 2 minutes to make it home. Leasing a car they can't afford just to flex for people they don't even like. Meanwhile, billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett are out here playing chess while the rest of the world is busy playing Candy Crush. Let me tell you something from the trenches. Money doesn't respect laziness. It doesn't respect ignorance. It doesn't respect entitlement. Money flows to discipline, education, and brutal execution. If you don't understand this, you're screwed. And I mean that with all the love in the world. Now, I get it. When you hear this, part of you wants to argue. You want to say, but the system is rigged. It's not fair. And listen, you're right. The system is rigged. But here's the secret the 1% don't want you to know: rigged or not, winners find a way to win. They don't cry about the rules. They master the rules. They find the loopholes. They build new games if they have to. You can either sit around being angry about how unfair life is, or you can grab the damn steering wheel and drive anyway. No one's coming to save you. Not the government. Not your boss. Not even your family. The only rescue mission that's happening is the one you launch yourself. You know, when I was 24, I was dead broke. I had $187 in my checking account, a beat-up Honda Civic, and a 1-bedroom apartment that smelled like disappointment and ramen noodles. But I also had one thing most people around me didn't have: an unshakable refusal to stay stuck. I worked 2 jobs. I studied business books on my lunch breaks. I said no to every party, every vacation, every stupid purchase that my broke friends made to feel good for 5 minutes. While they chased dopamine, I chased discipline. Fast forward 30 years later, those same friends are still complaining about how expensive everything is while I own multiple companies, real estate, and investments that pay me even while I sleep. This isn't to brag. It's to prove to you that it can be done. But you have to stop playing defense. Defense keeps you from dying. Offense makes you rich. Let's talk about another brutal stat. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in 2023 that 20% of new businesses fail within the first year, and 50% fail within 5 years. Now, you can look at that stat and say, see? Starting a business is too risky. Or you can realize the truth: it's not about the risk. It's about preparation. It's about mindset. It's about being willing to look stupid, to fail publicly, to eat dirt for a while so you can dine like a king later. And by the way, if you think staying at your safe job is less risky, you're dreaming. In the last recession, millions of people with safe jobs got laid off overnight. No warning. No mercy. No second chances. You think your company will protect you? Think again. Companies aren't families. They're businesses. They will drop you the moment it's cheaper to replace you with an algorithm. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. You have to understand, your only real job in life is to become so valuable that you can't be ignored. Learn the skills that people are desperate for. Build things people actually need. Solve painful problems. If you do that, the money will chase you. You won't need to beg for raises or worry about inflation. Inflation, by the way, hit 9.1% in June 2022, the highest in over 40 years, and it wiped out savings faster than termites in a woodpile. While the middle class panicked, wealthy people simply moved their money into assets that outpaced inflation: stocks, real estate, businesses. If you're sitting on cash, you're losing. If you're sitting on skills and assets, you're winning. It's that simple. And listen, I know it's not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be rich. Building wealth is like building muscle. It's painful. It's slow. It's repetitive. But every rep counts. Every dollar you save. Every investment you make. Every late night you spend learning instead of partying. They all stack up. Day by day. Month by month. Year by year. Until one day, you wake up and realize you're playing a completely different game than everyone else. So if you're still with me right now, congratulations. You've already separated yourself from 90% of the population who would have tapped out by now. But don't just listen. Act. Take one small, scary step today. Open a savings account. Start a side hustle. Read one book on investing. Hell, even just cancel your Netflix subscription and use that $15 a month to buy a few shares of an index fund instead. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be now. Because the truth is, you're not too late. You're just one decision away from changing your life forever. If you found this powerful so far, remember, this channel gives away free knowledge on how to become rich, build businesses, invest wisely, and achieve total financial freedom. If you don't want to miss out, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with everyone you care about. You know, one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and trust me, after 30 years in business, I've seen it all, is how people treat money like it's some kind of magic trick. Like wealth is this mysterious thing that just happens to you if you wish hard enough and wear enough crystals around your neck. I mean, come on. If manifesting a mansion was as easy as repeating positive affirmations in the mirror, I'd have been a billionaire at 19 while brushing my teeth. But guess what? Reality doesn't work like that. Reality rewards action. Ruthless, consistent, boring as hell action. That's the part nobody posts on Instagram. Everyone wants the yacht, but nobody wants to scrub the toilets first. Everyone wants passive income, but nobody wants to learn about compound interest. Everyone wants to be the boss, but when it's time to take out the trash or stay up till 2 a.m. fixing a disaster you didn't cause, suddenly it's not my job. That, my friend, is why 99% of people stay broke while the 1% laugh their way to the bank, and trust me, it's not an evil villain laugh. It's a tired, coffee-fueled chuckle because they know how much boring, ugly work it took to get there. Let me give you another little slice of reality pie. According to the IRS, in 2022, only about 1.4 million households in the U.S. reported an annual income over $500,000. Out of 130 million households total. That's about 1%. Coincidence? Nope. It's math. Hard, ugly, honest math. The reason it's called the 1% isn't because they're part of some secret society with a handshake involving goat blood. It's because most people tap out way before they even reach level 2. They quit when it's hard. They ghost their dreams the moment it gets uncomfortable. They treat discomfort like a disease instead of what it really is, a gym for your soul. I remember once, back in the day, I hired this young guy who had all the ambition in the world, for about 2 weeks. Showed up to work the first day in a shiny suit, quoting Gary Vee, talking about grinding and hustling and leveling up. By week 3, he was calling in sick because the energy at the office wasn't aligning with his chakras. I kid you not. Meanwhile, while he was home realigning his energy field, the company kept moving. Because here's the secret, nobody cares about your feelings in the real world. The market doesn't care if you're tired. Your competitors don't care if Mercury is in retrograde. Your landlord doesn't care if you're going through a vibe reset. Rent's still due on the 1st, baby. And look, I'm not saying you have to become some heartless machine. Far from it. I meditate. I journal. I even do yoga sometimes, though watching a 55-year-old man try to do a downward dog is something that can't be unseen. But after all the ahs and affirmations, I still get my butt to work. Because feelings don't pay bills. Actions do. You want to know another hilarious pattern I see? People acting broke when it's time to invest in themselves but acting rich when it's time to show off. Oh, $300 for a business course? That's too expensive. Meanwhile, the same dude will drop $1,200 on the new iPhone that does absolutely nothing his old phone didn't already do, except maybe take slightly sharper selfies of his broke self. Priorities, people. It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Looks nice, right before you drown. You have to treat your mind like your greatest asset, not your greatest liability. Your brain is either building your empire or sabotaging it 24/7. There is no neutral. That's why I never hesitate to invest thousands, yes, thousands, into books, seminars, mentorships, and mastermind groups. Because every dollar I pour into my brain eventually prints $100 back into my wallet. It's math. It's business. It's life. And honestly, it's not even close. The ROI on self-education is insane. If you're too cheap to upgrade your mind, don't be shocked when your life stays stuck on Windows 95. And don't even get me started on people chasing get-rich-quick schemes. If I had $1 for every time someone pitched me crypto scams, NFT pyramids, Forex robots, or some dude's surefire plan to flip sneakers into a Lambo overnight, I wouldn't even need investments anymore. I could just retire off the stupidity tax. Newsflash, if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it is. If you want fast money, go rob a bank. But if you want lasting wealth, you better start planting seeds today that you'll water for years before you even see a tiny sprout. Let's hit you with another stat, just to keep things spicy. According to Charles Schwab's 2023 Modern Wealth Survey, 62% of Americans define wealth as being able to enjoy life experiences, rather than just having a ton of cash. Sounds nice, right? But here's the catch, you can't enjoy life experiences if you're broke. Last time I checked, Delta Airlines doesn't accept positive vibes as payment for tickets to Bali. You need money. You need assets. You need security. Otherwise, you're not chasing freedom, you're chasing fantasies. Look, I'm not saying money is everything. It's not. But it's right up there with oxygen. Try living without it and see how long your good vibes carry you. The trick is to get your money handled so you can actually focus on bigger, better things: family, creativity, impact, legacy. But if you can't even afford your car note, you're not starting a charity anytime soon. You're just starting a GoFundMe for your groceries. And if you think I'm being harsh, good. Life is harsh. And the sooner you face that with a grin and a plan, the sooner you start winning. Because life will beat you up either way, you might as well get rich in the process. Quick reminder, this channel shares free, real-world knowledge on building wealth, becoming a true entrepreneur, investing smart, and achieving complete financial freedom. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and spread the word if you want to build a badass, bulletproof life. Here's where things get really interesting. Because once you finally wake up to how the real game is played, you start noticing just how many people are busy doing absolutely nothing, and calling it self-care. Oh, you took a 3-hour bath and lit some candles? Congratulations, Captain Bubble Bath. Meanwhile, someone else just closed a 6-figure deal because they spent those same 3 hours sending cold emails and fixing broken sales funnels. I'm not saying don't relax. I'm saying don't mistake relaxation for progress. Self-care isn't binge-watching Netflix while your bills stack up to the ceiling. Real self-care is having enough money to sleep at night without sweating bullets over your electricity being cut off. It's about freedom, not escapism. And speaking of freedom, let me tell you, freedom costs money. Freedom isn't some magical rainbow you find at the end of a yoga retreat. Freedom is waking up and knowing you own your time, your income, your decisions. You can't do that if your boss controls your paycheck, your landlord controls your home, and the government controls your ability to move around because you're one missed rent payment away from disaster. Harsh? Sure. But true. You want to be free? Learn to earn. Learn to multiply. Learn to build so much value that you become your own damn safety net. There's this funny thing people love to say, money isn't everything. And yeah, it's not everything, but it touches everything. It touches where you live, what you eat, how long you live, whether you get the good doctor or the hospital that smells like boiled socks, whether your kids get a shot at their dreams or get stuck repeating your same struggles. Money's not the point of life, but it sure makes life's points easier to score. Try telling the landlord that love is all you need when your rent's overdue. See how that conversation goes. I had a buddy once, good heart, terrible brain for money. He used to say, "I'm just not good with numbers, man." And sure enough, every year he was surprised by his tax bill like the IRS was some magical leprechaun showing up once a year to ruin his day. Here's a wild thought. If you suck at something that's crucial to your survival, maybe, just maybe, you should learn it. I mean, if you fell into a lake and didn't know how to swim, you wouldn't just shrug and say, "Swimming's not really my vibe." You'd either swim or you'd sink. Financial literacy is the same deal. Swim or sink. Evolve or evaporate. No excuses. Let me throw some more spicy facts at you. According to a report by Bankrate in 2023, 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved for retirement. Retirement. The thing that's supposed to happen after you spend 40 years working your fingers to the bone. That's not a retirement plan, that's a countdown to panic. That's not a golden sunset. That's a horror movie where the villain is your own damn bank account. And it's not because people are dumb. It's because nobody teaches this stuff in school. They'll teach you how to find the square root of a parallelogram, but not how to file taxes, invest, or avoid predatory loans. Which means it's on you. It's on me. It's on every one of us to become our own damn rescue team. No one's going to hold your hand. No fairy godmothers coming with a 401k plan. You have to build your own ship, paddle your own oar, fight your own storms, and yes, sometimes row like hell when the tide's against you. And honestly, that's empowering as hell. You're not at the mercy of luck. You're not a victim. You're a builder. A warrior. A freaking architect of your own life. You know what nobody tells you about success. It's boring most days. It's waking up, doing the unsexy stuff, checking numbers, tweaking marketing, following up with customers, reading boring contracts. It's the same stuff over and over until one day you look up and realize you accidentally built an empire while everyone else was busy chasing dopamine. Success is just compounded boredom executed with ruthless consistency. There's an old saying I love: hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. You choose your pain. You can either choose the pain of discipline now, or the pain of regret later. One hurts now, one hurts forever. Your call. Every dollar you blow on dumb crap is a future hour you have to work chained to a cubicle you hate. Every cheap thrill you chase today is a golden opportunity you burn tomorrow. You don't pay for discipline with money. You pay for it with freedom. I'll give you a personal example. When I first started scaling my businesses, I lived like a monk. Tiny apartment. Used car. No vacations. No brand name anything. People laughed at me. Said I was boring. Said I was missing out. Fast forward a few decades. Now they work for me. And spoiler alert, I'm still boring. Still drive used cars. Still live way below my means. But now, boring buys beachfront property. Boring buys freedom. Boring means I can work because I want to, not because I have to. And that's the real flex. So if you're sitting there thinking, man, this sounds hard, good. It is. But hard isn't bad. Hard builds muscle. Hard builds character. Hard separates the 1% from the 99% who spend their lives making excuses. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're just too damn distracted. Shut off Netflix. Close TikTok. Stop buying crap to impress people who wouldn't even show up to your funeral. Build. Grow. Stack. Move. Because no one's gonna do it for you. And honestly, you wouldn't want them to. The person you become on the journey is way more important than anything you gain at the end. And hey, real quick, this channel exists to give away free, no BS knowledge about how to build wealth, dominate in business, invest smart, and live truly free. If you're tired of playing small, hit that subscribe button, slap the notification bell like it owes you money, and share this with someone who needs a wake-up call. Let's freaking go. You made it this far? Good. Because now we're getting to the part nobody wants to admit out loud. You are either building your dream or you're building someone else's. Period. There is no third option. Every single day you wake up and don't push yourself closer to your goals, guess what? You just clocked in another 8 hours making someone else rich. Someone else's dream. Someone else's empire. And they're not gonna send you a thank you card. Maybe a pizza party if you're lucky. And that's cute, if you're 12. But if you're an adult with a spine and a dream, pizza parties ain't gonna cut it. You think the 1% are smarter than you? Nah. They're just willing to look stupid longer than you are. Willing to fail harder. Willing to get laughed at, judged, criticized, doubted, and still show up. Over and over. Day after day. Like a stubborn mule dragging a wagon full of broken dreams through a hurricane. That's the difference. Not luck. Not IQ. Not cosmic fairy dust. Just straight up, old school, get your hands dirty, blue-collar resilience dressed up in a nice watch. Let me ask you something. If your dream was a person, would they feel loved? Or would they feel abandoned, ghosted, ignored like an ex you don't text back? Because every day you procrastinate, your dream gets a little weaker. A little colder. Until one day, it dies quietly, and you're left working a job you hate, living a life you resent, watching reruns of what could have been at 3 a.m. on a couch you still haven't finished paying off. I'm not trying to scare you. Well, actually, yes, I am. Fear is healthy. Fear keeps you alive. Fear sharpens your senses. You should be afraid of living a small, wasted life. You should be terrified of waking up one day realizing you played it safe, did everything right, and still ended up broke, tired, and full of regrets. Better to be terrified now and act, than comfortable now and crushed later. You ever seen a lion hunt? It doesn't walk up to the zebra and politely hand over a resume. It doesn't whine about how unfair the jungle is. It doesn't wait for the zebra to volunteer for slaughter. No, it charges. Full speed. Teeth out. No hesitation. That's you. That's how you need to move toward your goals. With the ruthless, focused, beautiful violence of someone who refuses to die a slow, forgettable death. You charge or you starve. That's nature. That's business. That's life. You know what's hilarious? People will spend hours planning a fantasy football draft but won't spend 20 minutes planning their financial future. They'll research every stat about some backup quarterback from Wisconsin, but ask them what their net worth is, and they look at you like you asked them to solve quantum physics. You're not too busy, you're just prioritizing entertainment over survival. And trust me, in 20 years, your future self doesn't care who won the Super Bowl in 2025. He cares whether you're living in your dream house or sleeping in a rented shoebox eating discount cereal. Let me be clear, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. Hell, half the time, I still feel like I'm making it up as I go. But you need to move. Start ugly. Start small. Start scared. Just start. Because momentum is your best friend. Action creates clarity. Waiting creates weeds in your brain. You think I had a grand master plan when I launched my first business? Nah. I had fear. I had debt. I had no backup plan. I just knew that if I didn't build something, no one was handing me anything. I knew that I would rather fail chasing my dream than die slowly building someone else's. One more stat for you before I wrap this fire hose of reality around your brain. Fidelity's 2023 study showed that self-made millionaires made up 88% of all U.S. millionaires. Not inherited wealth. Not trust funds. Regular people. People like you. People like me. People who woke up one day and decided, no more. No more mediocrity. No more paycheck to paycheck. No more fear of opening their bank app. They decided. And they acted. And they compounded tiny, boring, invisible victories over years, until the world called them lucky. You have that power. Right now. Sitting wherever you are, on your couch, your bed, your broken office chair from Craigslist, you already have everything you need to start. You don't need permission. You don't need another pep talk. You don't need another inspirational quote slapped over a picture of a mountain. You need to move. You need to choose yourself. You need to bet so heavily on yourself that quitting isn't even an option anymore. Because at the end of the day, nobody remembers the almost had it's, the could have beens, the I'll start tomorrows. History remembers the builders, the warriors, the crazy ones who refused to die quietly. Be one of them. Be the one who kept swinging even after the gloves ripped. Be the one who built a life so big it embarrassed their past. Be the one who lived so fully that regret didn't even dare show up to their funeral. Because the truth is, you don't have time. None of us do. Every day you wait is a day you won't get back. So get up. Get moving. Build something so magnificent, so powerful, that even your haters have to pause and clap. Your life is a fire. Light it up. Burn so bright they can't ignore you. One last reminder from the bottom of my battle-hardened heart, this channel is here to give you free, no BS, real-world knowledge on how to build wealth, crush it in business, invest wisely, and buy back your time and freedom. Don't you dare miss out. Hit subscribe like you're punching mediocrity in the face. Smash the notification bell until your neighbors hear it. Share this video with someone who's ready to stop surviving and start dominating. Let's build something unforgettable together.